He'll cut more than your hair. Ray Winston is the demon barber, Sweeney Todd. Unmissable BBC One drama tomorrow night at 9.
The one for Christmas.
Ray Winston is Sweeney Todd. Tomorrow at 9 on BBC One.
What do women want? Wouldn't it be strange and wonderful if you were the one man on earth finally able to answer that question?
What Women Want, Wednesday at 7 on BBC One.
The one thing I love about Asian cinema is its breathtaking originality, and its uncompromising rawness. I suppose that's two things. Its unique visual style and its brash confidence. Well, I suppose that's four things I love about Asian cinema. Its hard-hitting action, the emotional depth, the sumptuous style, the iconic stars. Oh, you know, there are just too many things for me to mention. So join me, Jonathan Ross, for a journey into the world of Asian cinema.
Jonathan Ross's Asian Invasion, coming soon on BBC 4.
West Ham against Chelsea. Highlights of the best of the day's Premiership action in 15 minutes. That's after the news on BBC One with George Alagaya.
The aid worker kidnapped in Gaza says, "I put my parents at risk." In her first TV interview, Kate Burton speaks about her two-day ordeal. The Oxford patient denied the heart operation Tony Blair had on the NHS. And train fares up again. Critics say it's becoming a rich man's railway. Good evening. The British aid worker kidnapped with her parents in Gaza has told the BBC she regrets putting them at risk. Kate Burton was held for more than 2 days by a previously unknown Palestinian group. In an exclusive interview, she said her captors treated her well. Our Middle East correspondent Matthew Price reports.
This evening, Kate Burton agreed to her first interview since she and her parents had been held captive. So, how had she coped?
Everything happened so fast, it's like you don't really think about anything in the very beginning. Your mind is a bit blank. You're just a bit like, no, I can't believe this is happening. It's very surreal. And at the same time, I was thinking, this is a kidnapping, this is Gaza. I've heard about these things so many times. And so you're not scared as such because you know that it's not a kidnapping like kidnappings happen in other parts of the world. And I was just trying to calm my parents down because obviously they don't know the situation so well, so maybe they were a bit more scared about what might happen.
For 2 days, Palestinian police searched for the family. Kate Burton says they were treated well, but at times she felt it could have gone either way.
You don't want to be cooperative with them as well. You don't want to drink their tea. You don't want to smile at them. But at the same time, you know, you want to gain their sympathy because you kind of feel that it might help your case.
Finally, Kate Burton stood at gunpoint as one of her captors read out a statement. It was then she learnt they were to be released. A lot of people, I guess, in Britain will wonder why on earth you were taking your parents around the Gaza Strip. Did you regret doing that?
I don't regret it because I'm glad that they saw the place that I was living in and met a lot of amazing people and understood, I think, finally why I was there. I feel a certain sense of guilt, obviously, because I was aware that there was a risk and I still took the chances and I put my parents at risk. And in retrospective, I think I shouldn't have done that. But I'm still glad that they saw the positive side of the Palestinians, and that's what I wanted them to have.
In the end, the Burtons were all released safe and well, and despite her ordeal, Kate Burton says she will continue to work with the Palestinians. Matthew Price, BBC News, Ramallah.
The debt crisis in the NHS has led one leading hospital to cancel some routine heart operations. Around 100 patients of the Radcliffe Hospitals Trust in Oxford have been told they're no longer eligible for the same procedure that Tony Blair underwent to treat an irregular heart rhythm. The Trust says it hasn't got a never-ending pot of money. Branwen Jeffries reports.
Stephen Ely used to be far more active. Now he even feels tired when gardening. An irregular heartbeat is slowing him down. He was on a waiting list for treatment. Then a letter arrived saying he was no longer eligible for NHS funding.
At the age of 58, I'm left facing the rest of my life breathless and tired. And as a previously very active person, I find it extremely frustrating.
He was waiting for a catheter ablation. It's the standard treatment for an irregular heartbeat. A catheter is inserted into the heart. An energy pulse is sent into the damaged area and the heartbeat is regulated.
Absolutely fine, thanks.
It's just over a year since Tony Blair had the same procedure. At the time, it was described as a sensible precaution. But in Oxfordshire, only the most seriously ill will be given the treatment. Around 100 patients have been taken off the waiting list. In a statement, the Oxford Radcliffe Hospitals Trust said some patients have been informed they will no longer be eligible for treatment. There is not a never-ending pot of money. Trusts need to balance their books.
Really, it's all to do with finances and targets. And by cancelling the operations, they've saved money, but they've also wiped out the waiting list, thereby reaching their 6-month target.
The government says NHS trusts with debts have to set their own priorities, and heart treatment is getting better.
There have been very big improvements in heart care, but of course we need to be doing more, and with the investment and the reforms that we're making, we'll see those improvements coming through.
The government says that NHS debts are concentrated in just a few areas, but in those areas many tough decisions lie ahead. Some patients will find they no longer qualify for NHS treatment. Others will simply have to wait longer. Branwen Jeffries, BBC News, at the Department of Health.
Rescue workers in southern Germany are still trying to free people trapped in the wreckage of a collapsed ice rink. At least 5 people, including one child, are known to have been killed when the roof of the building in the town of Bad Reichenhall caved in after a heavy snowstorm. A major Russian energy company has said it will pump more gas to avert a fuel crisis in several European countries. Some have reported reductions of up to 40% in supplies after Russia cut off gas to the Ukraine in a row about prices. The Ukrainian government has denied siphoning off gas from Russia travelling through pipelines on its territory. Train fares have gone up again. The average rise is 4.5%. That's above the rate of inflation. The rail companies say they need the money for investment, but passenger groups say the network's becoming a rich man's railway. Here's Mark Simpson. We will have that story in a minute. No, we've got a problem with that. Football now, and there were 8 matches in the Premiership today. Match of the day immediately follows the news, so if you don't want to know the scores, I suggest you close your eyes and cover your ears for the next few seconds. There were wins today for Birmingham, Blackburn, Everton, Fulham, Aston Villa and Chelsea. They are now 14 points clear at the top. The matches at Bolton and Newcastle ended in a 2-2 draws. Finally, the holder of a jackpot-winning lottery ticket has missed out on a prize of more than £9 million. The mysterious winner, who bought the ticket in the Doncaster area, failed to come forward by today's deadline. It's the biggest ever unclaimed prize in the lottery's 11-year history.
£10.1 million.
Now let's go back to our story on the rises in the rail fares.
There's no sign of the New Year sales on the railways. Quite the opposite. Season ticket and saver fares have gone up by 3.9%. They're linked to the rate of inflation and are capped, but unregulated fares, like cheap day returns, have risen by an average of 4.5%. Passenger groups say the new fares are unfair.
We're now seeing a railway emerging where only certain types of people can travel at certain times of day. It's becoming, to a degree, a rich man's railway. That's not fair.
But there's no doubting that the network has improved, with many old trains being replaced by state-of-the-art new ones. Of course, all those improvements have to be paid for, and here on the East Coast Main Line, passengers have been hit hard. Some ticket prices have gone up 3 times the rate of inflation. It's not what commuters in Leeds wanted to hear.
It's a shame because, you know, people do complain about the cost of travelling by train up against the fact that they have to stand or, you know, get squished in like sardines.
Do you believe you're getting value for money whenever you get on a train?
Personally, not with the increase, no. It's nearly getting robbed, if anything.
Britain has the fastest...
We all know what it is, so how come management speak isn't in the Oxford English Dictionary?
In the management environment, envelopes are pushed. The wheel is reinvented, and ideas, if there's been a strategic policy realignment, firmly parked.
Border Dash and Piffle continues next Monday at 9 on BBC Two.
Jonathan Ross gets a rare interview with Woody Allen, filmed 2006, tomorrow at midnight. Now on BBC One, Match of the Day.